child, look at me. The scariest part of this walk of faith isn't my silence or feeling like I forgot about you. It is when you, yourself, the one who wept on your knees, crying out in the dark, finally let go, letting your heart freeze up, just as my spiritual clock is about to strike. When I said the one who endures will be saved in Matthew, that wasn't just a promise. It was also a warning bell for everyone growing tired right at the edge of breakthrough. Don't you see how many walk this hard road for years, only to drop their blessing right at the finish line? It wasn't a lack of belief. They were just too exhausted to trust me one more time. They think I've abandoned them, when really I am just finishing what I started. We lose heart so fast when the silence drags on and promises remain unfulfilled, when prayers seem to get no answer. But listen, faith isn't about the distance you've traveled, it's about how tightly you hold on when everything tells you to let go. So many quit because they forgot my timing is never late. It just runs on a different clock than yours. Can you hear it? Every second is a whisper, a heartbeat counting down. The hour is closer than you think, but the world is so loud. Everyone is distracted, living like they have endless tomorrows. They hesitate. They wait for some better day to start believing. They don't realize stalling only kills opportunity. My appointed time isn't a metaphor. It's a sacred moment I carved out before you drew breath. Those quiet dreams, those sudden stirrings in your chest, the tears falling for no reason, they aren't accidents. They are my whispers warning you that time is running thin. Yet so many shrug them off as fleeting emotions, only to realize too late they walked right past a moment that won't ever come back. What breaks my heart isn't watching you struggle, but seeing you freeze up right when I'm about to finish a miracle. Nobody really quits at the starting line, but so many collapse right at the end, even when the light is already breaking on the horizon. The enemy knows he can't stop my hand, so he tries to drag you out of your waiting room. He makes you exhausted, distracted, and doubtful, crowding your mind with endless noise until you can't hear my voice anymore. And once that heavy exhaustion sets in, you let go of the very breakthrough I'm holding out to you. You think you're just resting, but you're actually stepping away from the miracle. People live like they have all the time in the world. Meanwhile, my clock is ticking, and they still assume they have endless chances. They chase careers, plans, and dreams. Yet how many stop and ask where they fit in my design I've knocked at their hearts so many times through hard times, warnings, and quiet dreams. But they always insist that the timing isn't right. My calendar isn't a metaphor. It's a real date set before you were even born. When that alarm sounds, if you don't move, you will end up completely lost in the very life I custom built for you. My invitations aren't casual, temporary offers. Each one is a door that only swings open once. Missing today means walking away from an entire season of blessings designed just for you. Keep this in mind. I never rush, but I am never late. When the moment hits, I need you ready, not caught up and distracted by this world. Don't wait for tomorrow to finally believe, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Tell me, have you ever stopped long enough to just listen to your own breathing? The rhythm, counting down the exact seconds I have gifted you. I watch you rush, frantic, and chasing things you think matter, completely blind to the fact that behind it all your time is quietly slipping away. You're so focused on building a life, managing every detail, that you forget the biggest thing of all, your actual life in me. When I say today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts, as in Hebrews chapter 3, verse 15. It's my way of telling you that obedience happens today, not tomorrow. Yet people still stall, letting the daily grind drown out my quiet whisper, only to realize too late that tomorrow was never theirs. I know you're tired and want to rest for a minute, to push things off until it's easier to give me your heart. But you don't see that every promise of tomorrow is actually one more step away from me. The enemy doesn't have to trick you into massive sins. He only has to whisper that you have plenty of time. He doesn't need to steal your faith. Just delay it until the door locks shut. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, as written in John chapter 10. He doesn't even need force. Just a few simple distractions, and you'll end up letting go of the exact breakthroughs meant for you. My child, I'm not angry that you're weak. I'm just worried you'll get so used to the floor that you won't even try to stand up anymore. I've sent you so many wake-up calls. The sleepless nights, the disruptions, the dreams that felt random. Those were all my gentle taps on your shoulder, reminding you I'm right here. But you write them off as coincidences, telling yourself that the timing just isn't right. You don't realize that the time is actually right now. My schedule isn't measured by ticking clocks, but by eternal purpose. Because I know the plans I have for you, plans for your peace and not your ruin, to give you hope as promised in Jeremiah 29:11. I have never stopped planning good things for your life, but you have to show up when I call. Every time you procrastinate, you are just arriving late to what I already built for you. I know you're tired. The road feels endless, and your prayers seem to vanish into thin air. But trust me, I haven't forgotten you. I am training you to walk by faith, not by feelings. Emotions shift, but real faith keeps you standing when the whole world collapses. If you feel this, like and subscribe to join our faith community. Even in my silence, I am rearranging your life. If I let your clock run slower than everyone else's, it is to teach you how to wait with me. To me, one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a single day. Peter chapter 3, verse 8. My timing is not late, just different, so you can learn to believe, even when you cannot see. The world lies and says you have endless chances, that this failure can easily be fixed, and that mistake can be erased. But some opportunities only come once. When I knock on your door, I need you to open it immediately, not say, "Let me get ready first." See, I stand at the door and knock. If you hear my voice and open, I will come in. Revelation chapter 3, verse 20. I do not knock forever because I respect your free will. If you keep staring at what you lost, you will miss what is coming next. I do not need you to be perfect. I just need you to be willing. Once you are, I will handle the rest. I once gave some of you a sacred calling. Your hearts burned for me, but the fire died because you thought, I will live for him again when the time is right. But the fire of the Holy Spirit does not wait. When I breathe life into your soul, I want you to keep that flame burning, even if it is just a tiny spark in the dark. Stop comparing your life to others. My timing for you is unique. I just want you to guard against complacency. Do not put out the Spirit's fire. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 19. If you protect that spark, will watch me turn it into a torch that lights up the harvest. Some think they are truly living, but they are fast asleep in the busy rush of life. They do not commit obvious sins, but they no longer hunger for me. They sit in pews, but their souls have been far from me for a long time. My heart aches because their light is fading like a lamp running out of oil. Remember my words. Stay awake, because you do not know when your Lord is coming. Matthew chapter 24, verse 42. Being watchful is not about fear. It is keeping your spirit alive, so that when I arrive, you will not be ashamed or afraid, but will smile, knowing you are ready. Do not let busyness kill our intimacy. I do not blame you for having worries. I know you live in this world, but it hurts when you give your time to everything and everyone except me. When I wake you with a nameless emptiness that is my invitation to come home, do not try to patch it with work or relationships. Only I can fill that void. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33. Put me first, and you will see everything else fall into its proper place. Look back at your life. How many times did you promise to change, to return, only to forget? I do not remind you to condemn you, but to show you I am still waiting. It is never too late, but do not wait until your heart goes cold before seeking me. I do not need massive promises. I only want that first brave step you take toward me. Like the father waiting for his lost son, I am standing at the beginning of the road. My arms are wide open. You only need to turn around. I will do the rest. Once you return, you will see that all the clocks I set in your life, the crises, the long delays, the wounds, have just been my ways of teaching you to value your life. Every second is an opportunity to love, to forgive, and to live fully in my will. Do not waste it in procrastination or indifference. One day that clock will stop, and only the love you gave me will remain. Therefore, my child, wake up. Do not wait for a clearer sign. Every sign you need is already inside your heart, in your circumstances, in my word. Take a step, even a tiny one. Every step toward me leaves the darkness behind. Like a sower who knows the harvest is near, stand up, because your season is approaching. As you walk, you will see this spiritual journey is not just about distance, but about keeping your heart awake in the storm of distractions. Sometimes the danger is not that you have not started, but that you are walking in the right direction while letting your heart fall out of rhythm. My child, engrave this deep in your heart. The most dangerous part of this journey is not when you are weak, but when you think you are almost there, in the final stretch where just a little more perseverance brings the promise. That is, when the enemy strikes hardest, not with obvious sins, but with weariness, doubt, comparison, and the noise of this world. I have seen too many souls stop right at that, the door of their miracle, because they could not wait one more hour. But those who wait on me will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary, walk and not faint. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. Do not just start with fire, but to finish in light. I know you have endured heavy trials, feeling like I take too long to answer. You pray, you believe, and then you wait. The longer the wait, the colder your heart grows. That is when you look at others and ask, why do you answer them so fast, but not me? In that moment, comparison takes root and grows into bitterness. Faith is not a race to see who receives first, but a personal journey for each soul. My plan for you is unique, and you are never late in my will. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for we will harvest in due time if we do not give up. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Learn to endure when no one applauds, because in that very hidden place, I test if your love is real. When you feel completely exhausted, do not fight alone. Stop and sit at my feet. Let me pour new strength into you. Sometimes I do not want you to run. Just be still. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46, verse 10. The world demands grit, but real strength comes in stillness. Like and subscribe to join our faith community, Weak in Me. You do not have to pretend you are fine or hold back. I know every heavy sigh. I feel every single tremor. I see you. I am right here in the exhaustion with you. Just lift your head. Let me help you stand. But hear me, child. Understand this. Distraction does not always wear a dark face. Sometimes it is a sweet offer, a golden opportunity, a quick ego boost. Even a tiny win can drift you away from where I placed you. The dark is clever. It cannot block my blessing, so it just tries to pull you out of the room, to lure you from the sweet spot of my grace. It whispers that you need to do more to prove a worth I already declared long ago. So you sweat for the good things, while leaving the right things behind. You cannot run after two masters, as Matthew chapter 6, verse 24 warns. You cannot chase the crowd's applause and keep a pure heart for me. Choose the quiet of my path, or the loud chaos of the world. I see you. I see when your knees buckle right there on the asphalt. Some days you just want to quit, not from lack of faith, but from pure exhaustion, because the weight has been brutal. I get it. But remember, every real miracle is like a seed. It takes time in the dark to crack open, buried deep under the dirt. It has to survive the cold, wet soil before it can push toward the light. Walk away now, and you will never harvest the field you cried over. Those who plant with tears will reap with shouts of pure joy. Joy, as Psalm 126, verse 5 promises. Your tears are not wasted, my child. They are watering the massive harvest on its way. Hear me. Being tired is not a failure. It is a signal that you need me. When your hands shake, grab onto mine. When your knees give out, kneel. Victory is not always found on your feet. Sometimes it is found on your knees. When you are broken, my power takes over. Just like 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 9 and 10 says, your strength is not grit, it is surrender. And letting go is not defeat. It is letting me fight and win for you. These current storms are not here to break you. They are burning away the junk to show what is real inside. I lead you through the fire, not because I love your pain, but because I want you to love me, even when your hands are completely empty. When you stay loyal, even when the sky is silent, you become the miracle itself. Blessed are those who have not seen, yet still believe. John 20, verse 29. I have not forgotten one single prayer. I am just waiting for your heart to expand to hold what is coming. Do not panic when you feel bone tired. Fatigue is not the enemy. The danger is letting that tiredness choke your faith. Rest in me, but do not walk away. There is a massive difference between taking a breath and giving up. Resting builds strength. Quitting walks out on the path I carved for you. Look at Jesus on the cross, gasping for air, yet announcing it is finished. As John 19 verse 30 says, He did not quit because he was weak, but because the job was done. I want you to cross the finish line like that, standing tall, having kept the faith through it all. Beloved child, when you keep your eyes locked on me, I will pour out fresh strength. Every agonizing step you take while exhausted is a step my grace carries. Look up at me, not at the waves around you. Keep your focus here, and the storm will dissolve into perfect peace. I keep those who trust me in absolute rest, just like Isaiah 26 verse 3 promises. Remember, no sharp turn on this road is a waste. I count every drop of sweat. I save every tear. And when you have finally cleared this noisy, distracting stretch of road, you will see the truth. I was not training you to run fast, but teaching you how to stand. When the hurricane passes, it does not matter who sprinted. It matters who is still standing. Let your soul quiet down in me, because ahead you will need that deep grit to survive heavier silences and harder fights. Do not panic when the lights go out. My light shines brightest when the darkness is absolute. Keep taking steps, not because you are strong, but because I am walking right beside you in the mud. This dead end is actually the first page of a new chapter. Here you will learn that real faith is not just about toughing it out, but finding actual rest while the storm rages. Did you know that sometimes the heaviest weight is not the wind and rain, but the flat silence? My quietness can mess with your head, like a kid in a pitch-black room, wondering if their dad is still in the house. You pray, you scream, you wait, and nothing happens. You think I turned my back. The doubt creeps in. Did I forget you? Hear me, child. I have never walked away. In the heavy silence, I am working hardest. The God who guards you never sleeps, as promised in Psalm 121, verse 4. My quietness is not my absence. Just because you cannot hear me does not mean I am deaf to you. My silence is not cold shoulder. It is the workshop where I build things with threads you cannot see yet. I know pain makes you feel like I deserted you. When you scream into the dark and get nothing. When you get cheated and nobody speaks up. When you look around and everything looks completely broken. You start building walls. But do not let the pain make you bitter. Do not let your tears poison your soul. I count every tear. I have logged your misery. Are not your tears kept in my bottle, and your sorrows written in my book? Psalm 56 verse 8 asks, Not one sigh is wasted. They are all seeds, and when the timing is right, they will burst into a massive harvest. You think suffering is a penalty, but it is actually a brutal classroom of love. In the pain, I teach what comfort never could. I teach you to separate what fades from what lasts forever. You learn to value the tiny things. When you hurt you, start praying from the gut, forgiving faster, and loving without limits. I do not cause pain to hurt you. Subscribe to join our faith community, not to break you, but to refine you. Just like gold in the fire, your soul is tested to become pure, because raw suffering builds endurance. That grit builds character, and character brings hope. Romans 5, verses 3 and 4. Do not fear the pain, only fear a heart that hardens inside it. I hear you whisper in the dark, Lord, I cannot take any more. But my child, that breaking point is exactly where you are closest to my hand. That is where I do my deepest work. The enemy knows this, and so he keeps whispering in your ear. If God loves you, why does it hurt this much? He wants you to forget that true love is not escaping the wounds, but my presence inside those wounds, turning them into grace. Joseph was sold into slavery, yet became a ruler. Job lost absolutely everything, yet received double in return. What I let you lose is never gone forever. You might not understand what I am doing right now, but soon you will understand. John chapter 13, verse 7. You want me to speak, to act, to prove myself instantly. If I answered every cry immediately, you would only see me as a giver of gifts, not as a father. I want you to trust me in the heavy quiet. True faith is not born in the miracles, but in the silence, when you still stand tall, even when you cannot see the path. That is when your light shines brightest. I am walking ahead of you. I will never leave your side or abandon you. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. I promised, and I do not break promises. My child, do not fear the tears. They do not make you weak. They soften your heart, so my hand can reach you. The world demands strength, but I tell you that turning your weakness to me is where real strength lives. When you weep in my arms, I turn those tears into anointing oil. So when you stand up, you are no longer the person you were. Tears are never wasted. They either grow your soul or drown it. Choose to grow. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Matthew chapter 5, verse 4. I see you pretending to be strong, faking a smile while your heart is shattered. Do you think I do not see? I see every detail, and my heart breaks for you. Stop hiding your tears from me. I do not hate your weakness. Inside that very weakness, show my power. When you let go, I can finally take hold. When you stop struggling, I can lift you up. I never asked you to fake a smile in the dark middle of your pain. I only want you to hold my hand, even if your fingers are trembling, my child. Stop seeing pain as a dead end. See it as a pause in the story I am writing. When you think it is over, I am just starting a new chapter. Every season of pain holds a hidden seed, a seed of healing, of blessing, of raw faith reborn. One day you will look back, smile, and say, it was right then that God was not silent at all. He was writing the most beautiful chapters of my life. Once you understand this quiet, you will never fear it again. You will see pain as a guide and tears as seeds. You will know that every single loss is just me preparing you for something far greater. The struggles of today are not even worth comparing to the glory about to be revealed in us. Romans chapter 8, verse 18. When your heart stays soft, even while you cry, you are planting seeds for a future joy. You will see that my silence is not abandonment. It is just me stepping back so that you can grow. Pain is not distance. It is a burning torch showing your soul what is real and what is a lie. Once you learn to see, this way you will walk through the dark times with lighter steps. You will know my silence means I am actually closer than ever. Because my child, this journey of faith is more than just surviving. It is realizing that every single wound has a deeper purpose, and it is through those exact cracks that my light shines in. Keep your heart at peace. Glory is coming. After the quiet, my voice will break through, a sound that only souls who have cried in my hands can truly hear. My child, I saw every tear you shed when you were misunderstood, every choking sob when you were left out, every time you stayed silent under their harsh contempt. I know this pain runs deeper than words. It strips away the value you thought you had. You start asking, if God loves me, why am I so hated? But my beloved, it is in that exact place of rejection where I am building your ultimate comeback. Those who humble themselves will be lifted up. Luke chapter 1, verse 41. You are not brought low to be embarrassed, but so I can raise you up when they least expect it. Injustice does not mean I have let go, but the heavy soil I plow to plant seeds of glory, only I can see. I know your first instinct is to fight back and defend yourself to prove your innocence. But my child, every time you fight to justify yourself, you drop down to the level of those who hurt you. You lower your voice to scream at the noise of this world. Never repay evil with evil. Leave room for God. Romans chapter 1, verse 29. I do not demand silence because you are weak, but because I want the voice of your justice to come from my mouth, not your wounded heart. When you stay quiet, I speak. When you stop reacting, I act. And my word of defense will always thunder louder than any lie they throw at you. I see everything. Every time you are ignored after doing your absolute best, I am right there. When they mock, judge, or tear down your heart, I write it down. I have not forgotten. I am just waiting to speak. If I fought for you while you were still bitter, you would use the wind to gloat, not to praise me. But when you are still, when you can hold both silence and unfairness, while keeping your heart clean, that is, when I release the justice of heaven, be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Psalm 37, verse 7. Your waiting is never wasted. My justice is never late. It arrives at the exact moment it is meant to. Do you know those moments of shame, rejection, and being treated like nothing are exactly where I am carving out your true. Imagine you once believed your worth was found in the eyes of others, but I let them walk away so you would finally see yourself in my light. When every door you chase slams shut, remember, there is still one that stays wide open, the door to my heart. If God is for us, who can ever be against us? Romans chapter 8, verse 31. You do not need this world to validate you. You only need me to know who you are where I have placed you. No lie is strong enough to drag you away. My child, do not let your deep wounds turn you cold. So many people get hurt and build thick stone walls around their souls, calling it strength. But those dark barriers do not just keep people out, they shut out my light too. I want you soft, not bitter. Your soul should be like rich soil. Even when walked on, it still grows beautiful things. Blessed are the humble, for they will inherit the earth. Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. Real power is not about being tough. It is holding on to love when you are bleeding. Let me heal you instead of locking yourself in a cage of anger. If you only look through the lens of resentment, you will miss the glory I am building for you. I never let pain happen just for a test. Every insult has a deeper meaning. When you are pushed out, I am rescuing you from spaces where you do not belong. When they lie about you, I am teaching you to stand tall without needing their cheers. When people misunderstand you, I am preparing you to love others even deeper. Do not view this as defeat. It is raw preparation for those I choose to carry heavy glory. I always drag through the mud of public shame first. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the dirt and dies, it stays a single seed. But if it dies, it yields a massive harvest. John chapter 12, verse 24. You have to let go of human applause to be known by heaven. My love, I have watched you struggle to prove your worth, only to realize that the more you talk, the less they listen. You are exhausted and ready to throw in the towel. But your silence is not a sign of surrender. It is quiet power waiting for the perfect moment. Some truths can only be proven by the life you produce. As years go by, the fruit of your life will speak for itself. The good will grow like massive palms, towering like the cedars of Lebanon. Psalm 92, verse 12. Let me defend you with my blessings, not screaming arguments. Stop identifying yourself as nothing more than a victim of pain. If you let yesterday define you, you will miss the path I am clearing today. Stop letting their hateful glares be the mirror for your soul. You were not made to fight back against petty insults, but to burn with my glory. When I look at you, I do not see a victim. I see a warrior, forged in fire. You are my absolute treasure. I chose you not for your human strength, but simply because I love you. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 6 through 8. When your day finally comes, you will see why I told you to hold your tongue. When you were dragged down, I had already set the date of your rise. When you were cast aside, I was already setting a table of honor for you. When they spit on your name, I was laying the groundwork for a promotion that only my grace could unlock. In that very hour, you will not care about payback or showing them up. My deep peace will settle so heavily inside you, but words won't even matter. You will realize that the scars that used to make you hide are the exact spots where my light shines through with raw power. It is in the dirt of humiliation that I teach you real honor. It is through rejection that you truly learn what it means to be chosen. What I am doing now makes no sense, but later it will all click. John chapter 13, verse 7. You won't try to hide your messy past anymore. You will see with absolute clarity that I used every single cut to carve out a new masterpiece. My child, keep your heart open. Do not let agony become your identity. Let me use this pain as the fuel that launches you into your season of victory. What feels like shame right now is just the path I am laying down to honor you in the end. Think of Joseph. He was thrown into a dark pit, but that pit led straight to the palace. Once you grasp this truth, insults will lose their bite. You will know that every cruel word they throw only builds a stronger foundation for the platform I am preparing. And when you rise above the injustice, you will step lighter with a bigger heart and clear eyes. Because you will realize that real victory does not come from changing their minds, but from your own soul being transformed. When you start to see through my eyes, their weapons lose all their power. You will cross over into a brand new season, a place where old pain is no longer a heavy weight, but a scar of grace. You will see that being hated for my sake is actually an incredible honor. Filled with raw gratitude, you will step forward with a quiet grace, knowing that this journey does not stop at victory. It goes deeper. To the ultimate lesson, you do not have to fear their insults anymore. Only the tragedy of missing the moment I step in to defend you and lead you into the glory I wrote for you. My child, there is an invisible heavy chain holding so many back. The fear of what people think. You worry more about their whispers than breaking my heart or missing my voice. I urge you to step out, to speak up, to stand on the side of absolute truth. But a quiet panic rises inside. What if they laugh? What if I am rejected, my child, when their opinions scream louder than my truth? You hand over the keys of your life to those who are just as fragile as you are. They ended up loving human praise far more than the approval that comes from God. John chapter 1 verse 24. Do not walk that path. The real danger is not their disapproval, but letting that fear drag you away from the exact place where I want to defend you and pull you up. I know your soul has deep scars. The times they laughed, looked down on you, and said things you cannot forget. Those heavy memories made you hide. You live in the shadows, hoping to stay safe and unnoticed. But my child, you were never meant to live under the crushing weight of their opinions. When one harsh comment or cold look dictates who you are, you have completely forgotten my voice calling you my beloved. I am the one who holds you. Why fear mortal men who fade away, forgetting the Lord? Subscribe and join our community of faith today. Who shaped your soul? Isaiah chapter 5, verses 11 to 13. You trembled before others only because my presence in your heart has grown faint. I do not judge you, but I want to heal that wound. Look back for a second. How many times did you know the right path but froze because you were terrified of their opinions, how they would judge you? I whispered for you to forgive, but you feared they would call you weak. I urged you to step out and serve, but you worried they would call you a show-off. I placed a burning truth in your chest, but you hid it, terrified of their mockery. Listen to me, my child. If I still lived to please the crowd, I would not be Christ's servant. Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. You were never meant to slave over what people think when you are royalty. These tiny choices, speaking my name in a hostile room, sharing the hard, raw truths I whisper in the dark, and standing boldly on the side of truth. These are the raw marks showing you chose me over your own safety. My child, I am ready to pull you out of those cold, shameful shadows. I want to bring you to a place of honor, to fight your battles, and to open heavy doors that no human hand can lock. I want everyone to see that I stand with you. Look, I have unlocked a door that no one can shut. Revelation chapter 3, verse 8. But if you linger on the threshold because you dread their whispers, you will watch my promises pass right by you. I will not force you to step through. I invite you. Your worst regret won't be that you lacked opportunity, but that the door was wide open and you hesitated. The dread of what others think fades when you truly see me. When you realize that my gaze upon you is softer and warmer than any human eyes, you won't tremble at their cold stares or quiet rumors. I don't want you to hate them, but you must put their opinions back where they belong. My eyes are the only ones that define you. I am your judge, not them. I tell you this so you remember your value is never decided by the crowd. When you walk by my word, even when they look at you confused, you enter a quiet depth of absolute freedom, a place where your peace cannot be bought by a compliment or broken by a glare. Choose me over them and watch something beautiful and strange happen. The critics who look down on you will be forced to pay attention. The doors that slammed shut in your face will swing wide open. The painful memories that made you hide your face will become monuments of my grace. Your life will stand as proof that those who trust me never end up empty-handed. You will no longer tremble at their sharp words. Instead, a deep, beautiful reverence will keep you from missing what I am about to do. No more dragging your feet when I say move. You will step onto new ground, your ankles free from the heavy chains of public opinion. You will walk with the light, easy stride of a child who knows their father leads them. I will vindicate you through doors I personally open. My beloved, bury these words deep inside your soul. Guard them like a flickering candle on a cold, windy night. Keep moving forward, because what lies ahead won't just shift your situation. It will transform how you view yourself, how you view me, and the path we walk together. This isn't just poetry to make you feel better. This is a massive shift in the spiritual atmosphere. You are closer than you realize. I have kept some details hidden because if you saw the whole picture right now, you wouldn't need to trust me. But today I will peel back the veil just a fraction. You aren't at the starting line. You are nearing the finish of this chapter. We are at a place where every minor decision, every ordinary choice, determines whether you cross over or walk away from my perfect destiny for you. Do not overlook this moment. Do not ignore what I am whispering into your heart right now. I have watched generations come and go, countless faces, endless stories. So many hearts that once blazed with passion, only to slowly cool down. I have seen people stand inches away from their breakthrough, only to grow tired, turn around, and abandon the road I built. I watched those who gave their best years to follow me, carrying scars and heavy loneliness, give up right when restoration was within reach. They stood before a golden field, ripe and ready for harvest, but turned away, convinced the reward was never meant for them. Others stood right at the edge of the bridge I built, then retreated, fearing the other side was too far. The worst pain isn't missing the promise, but coming inches from it and never touching it. Reaching out, then pulling back. I refuse to let your life become another story of what almost was. I don't want heaven remembering you as the one who nearly made it but lacked the courage to take those final steps. Listen to me. The headwinds always roar loudest during the final stretch of the journey. Like a runner nearing the finish line, this is exactly where your chest aches, your knees shake, and every fiber of your being screams to quit. The spiritual battle is identical. Just as my promise is ready to break through, the weight on you gets heavier, not lighter. The noise gets louder. Sudden storms hit you in. Waves and dark anxieties crowd your thoughts. Do not mistake this for my absence. It means the enemy knows it has already lost and is throwing its final desperate tantrum. It can't lock the door I opened, but it will try to pull you back with distractions, doubt, irritation, comparison, and bitter self-pity. It weaponizes everything that has ever wounded you, dragging up raw memories to make you forget the truths I have spoken and obsess over how the world broke you. I tell you this not to scare you, but to wake you up. If your mind is chaotic and your soul is restless, you are not on the wrong path. You are standing right at a massive spiritual tipping point. I have watched faithful souls suddenly let doubt occupy the throne of their hearts after years of trusting me. It starts slowly, letting in quiet thoughts of doubt. If this message heals you, subscribe and join our faith community as we walk this out. Bit by slowly, those questions stopped being fleeting thoughts and became the foundation for every single choice. They began acting out of fear rather than resting on my word. They chased quick fixes, easy shortcuts, and doors that looked wide open but were never mine. They settled for so much less, because they stopped believing I had anything better for them. My child, my heart breaks when I watch them jump onto those shortcuts, because shortcuts always end in a brick wall. My path might feel slow and winding, but it actually gets you home. I have also watched souls get so bone-tired of waiting that they just walk away. They tell themselves, I will handle this, because God clearly is not looking out for me. They slip into relationships that are not from me and accept jobs I never led them to. They make tiny compromises their conscience knows are dead wrong, but they justify it. As long as it hurts less, they say, never realizing that every single compromise is dragging them right out of the circle of my promise. I never walked away, but they stepped out of the spot where I wanted to bless them with something better. I look at them and wish they had held on just a minute longer. Wish they had dared to believe my love was real. Wish they let me hold their hand a bit longer before letting go to chase whatever flashed in front of them. My child, I do not say this to make you feel superior, but to show you that everyone gets tempted to quit right before the finish line. Even you. But unlike the rest, I am warning you ahead of time. I am pulling you close with my voice, right when others have tuned me out. What does that tell you? It means I have not walked away. It means your struggle still matters to me. It means I look at you with hope, not regret. If I did not care, I would just let you float away in your own exhausting thoughts. But today, I am calling you by name. You are not some stranger to my plan. You belong in my story, and we are not at the final chapter yet. Even if you are too exhausted to turn the page, do not lose heart. Your payoff is going to be massive. I am not selling you cheap promises. I see the breakthrough waiting for you, even if you are still in the dark. My child, take this truth in, not just with your ears, but deep in your chest. Do not just nod and move on. Let it sink deep. Tell yourself every single day, I am closer to the promise than I think. I will not walk away from where God placed me. Let your words fight your feelings. When your soul wants to throw in the towel, that is when you must speak up. Lord, I am weak, but you are strong. I am exhausted, but I choose not to quit. When your mind starts drifting off my path, bring those heavy thoughts straight to me. Just say it. I am doubting. Help me. I never turn away from someone honest enough to show me their cracks. The only time you lock me out is when you play the hero while quietly slipping away. Remember the long miles you and I have already traveled together. Remember when I pulled you out of those dead ends? The times you were sure you would hit the floor, yet somehow you are still standing. The moments you felt an invisible hand drag you out of the wreckage. Those are not just warm stories to tell. They are markers. I built into your life. When you get tired, look back and see that I have never once broken a promise. If I held you close through your worst nights, why would I drop you now, right when the horizon is clearing? I stayed by your side when you had nothing to show for it, so why would I leave when the harvest is finally ready? Use the memory of my past goodness to silence today's panic. Let what I did prove to your heart that I will show up again, my way, on my schedule. See your worry and distraction through a different lens. They do not mean you failed. They just show how badly you need me right now. When you feel like pulling back and hiding, that is the exact moment to run. closer to sit at my feet. Stop waiting to feel strong before you show up. Come to me, broken, shaking as you are. I can handle trembling hands. I can stitch together frayed hopes. I can lift you up when your knees are giving out. I do not demand some flawless faith. Just hold my hand through all your doubts, even if you are hanging on by a single thread of hope. My child, hear your Father's voice. Do not sign your name to the list of those who quit when they were only steps away from the finish line. Do not give the angels a reason to whisper they ran a good race, but stopped just before the sun came up. Do not let your story end with "they once believed, once served, once persevered, but gave up." I want your story to read. Despite the exhaustion, they held tight to God's promise, stood their ground, and watched my promise become real. That is why I am talking to you right now, so you cannot make excuses or say, "Nobody warned me, nobody told me." Get this straight. What I am building for you is not some quick fix, but a total rebuild from the inside out. I do not just want to fix your position, circumstances, or money, or your relationships. I want to reshape how you trust, how you love, and how you see me. What is next is not some trophy to show off, but a deep shift so you can walk as my child in a broken world. To step into it, you need something incredibly simple but tough. Do not turn your back when it matters most. Let me hold you. Stop pulling away. You have survived too much to let exhaustion and distraction rob you of the fruits of all those years of tears, prayers, and grit. I am standing right beside you, not to tell a pretty story, but to grab your hand and say, "Walk with me. Do not quit now." I have watched too many people reach out their fingers inches from touching what I promised, only to slowly let go. Not because I changed my mind, but because they believed the lie that I forgot them, that I no longer cared about their tears or the nights they spent on their knees. Some walked so far, pouring out sweat and tears for years, yet right before the harvest broke ground, they walked away from the soil they spent years plowing, walking away empty-handed, convinced I was unfair. It breaks my heart, because if they had just held on a moment longer, just stood firm, one last time, they would be holding the harvest they paid for with sleepless nights. That is why I am speaking directly to you today, softly, but with total honesty. I am not here to lecture you, but to wake you up before you fall into that same dark hole where so many others have slipped. Before you turn back right at the doorway I am unlocking for you. Hearing this right now is no coincidence. It is not some random glitch in your day, or just another cheap video you scrolled past in a sea of noise. This is a quiet moment I carved out specifically for us, so that right when you feel ready to give up, you will hear me calling your name. As your creator, I see that quiet, exhausting ache inside your chest. It is a heavy fatigue that has settled deep into your bones and poisoned your hope, because you have been let down so often, you are afraid to dream. I know how often you have whispered to yourself, "Maybe this is the end of the line. Maybe God never wanted this for me." I know your smile has faded. Your prayers have become simple sighs, and you have shut down to protect yourself. But listen to me. What feels like a dead end is just a sharp turn toward a new beginning. That bend in the road is exactly where the fight gets brutally intense. The enemy of your soul does not care about your confident first steps. It is terrified of your shaking hands that still grip onto me near the finish line. It does not fear your loud promises at the start. It fears your quiet grit on the days when nobody is watching. It knows that if you hold on to my hand until the absolute end, nothing on earth can stop me from finishing what I started. That is why it will not waste time fighting my grip, because it cannot break it. Instead, it strikes directly at your heart, trying to make you let go. It weaponizes the insults, the whispers, the rumors spread behind your back. It uses cold stares, toxic comparisons, and cheap comments designed to tear open your old wounds. It wants to convince you that you are damaged goods, unloved, and completely out of time. It whispers in the dark, "Look, God abandoned you. If he were actually here, why is this taking forever? Why do you have to suffer this humiliation in front of everyone?" Then it drags up your worst moments, your old regrets, forcing you to agree with the lie that God has abandoned you. Listen to me. When those voices get deafening, it means you are standing right in the center of the heaviest firefight. It is no accident that right before a major breakthrough, the waves of doubt and noise hit the hardest. It is a setup. Just as I unlock a new door, your fear of what others think suddenly flares up, trying to paralyze you. The enemy cannot lock a door I have opened. It can only try to freeze you on the threshold, making you retreat out of pure fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of losing face. It cannot put out the fire I started in you, but it will try to make you hide your own light under a blanket. It knows the truth. The one who stands firm until the very end is saved. So its whole game plan targets those final moments. It wants you to surrender inches before the finish line, slowly drifting away until you are completely off the field, pretending you are just resting. That is why I am not speaking to you with anger today. I am sitting down right next to you, like a father with a tired child, putting my hand on your shoulder and whispering, "Do not listen to that loud world. Look right into my eyes. I am right here. I have not forgotten you. Feeling alone does not mean I have left you. It is just a thick smoke meant to blind you. The truth is actually the exact opposite. Right when you feel I am miles away, I am closest. Like a farmer standing quietly at the edge of the field, watching every crack in the soil, waiting for the seed to break open. I do not immediately rescue you because I want you to go through the fire with me, not just sit on the sidelines. Sometimes I let you reach the absolute end of your own rope so you will realize that your survival never depended on your own human strength in any way. Remember Peter stepping out onto the water, walking right into a miracle. But the storm hit, and he got distracted by the heavy waves, the howling wind, and his own panic. He started to sink, but I was watching him the entire time, from his very first step to the second he went under. I was just waiting for him to cry out, "Lord, save me." Instantly, I reached out and grabbed him. You are standing in that exact same spot right now. The wind is screaming, waves are building, and you are shaking. It is not because I left, but because you actually stepped out of safety. If you turn back to that boat, out of fear, you will spend your life saying, "God never let me walk on water," when really, you just pulled your foot back. I refuse to let that be your story. I do not want you to be someone who ran away. I want you to be living proof that an ordinary, fragile soul who clings to my promise through all the mocking insults and doubt can be carried by me through doors they never imagined. When you hear this, do not just let the sound wash over you. Let these words settle into the absolute deepest corners of your chest, that quiet spot where you started believing the lies, telling yourself that you are just a burden to God, completely worthless and hopeless. I am tearing those lies out by the roots. They are not my words. I call you my family, my pride, my chosen one. I promise I am right beside you. Stop being terrified. I have carved your name right into my hands. How could I ever forget you? Just look back at the stormy road we already walked. I carried you through all those massive waves. Do you really think I would abandon you now when we are so close to the shore? Drift away. You only lose your way when you choose to believe the loud noise around you instead of holding on to my voice. I never let go of your hand. Never. 2. Fear pleasing the crowd more than missing the moment I step up to defend you. Today, I am calling you, not with a loud shout, but in a quiet whisper, to stand up again and cut through the heavy weight of what people think. Turn your back on the crowd right now and look straight into my eyes. Look at me. In my eyes, you will finally see how deeply you are loved, how desperately you are wanted, far beyond anything you could ever imagine, and that a fresh start is closer than you think. Do not quit now, my child. The place you think is the dead end of your story is actually just the opening line of a brand new chapter I am writing for you. A chapter where, when you look back years from now, you will see that if you had bowed your head in fear of those people, you would have completely missed the exact second I stepped in to fight for you. My child, I need you to stop listening to the human chatter. Look deeper at what is happening inside your soul and in the unseen spiritual world where your eyes cannot look yet. The enemy is quiet and clever. He does not always use massive failures or obvious traps to break you. Instead, he slowly drips random thoughts, constant worry, and endless questions about the future. He piles up endless chores and demands that look so urgent, but actually mean nothing. He wants your heart tangled up like messy yarn, leaving zero room for peace or my quiet voice. He lets you slip into draining debates that only frustrate you, dumb arguments to prove you are right, and insults that keep you exhausted, trying to defend your name, bruises to your pride that make you obsess over what they think. Meanwhile, the things that actually matter forever, which I planted in your soul through tears, through those heavy nights on your knees, and the times you obeyed even when it hurt, get shoved aside. I need you to realize that every single time you let distraction pull you under, you are accidentally trading away an entire era of breakthrough for a moment of validation, a cheap compliment, or a fleeting sense of security. And that is a trade you will regret when you look back. My loved one, throughout our history together, there have always been critical tipping points, moments I handpicked as holy ground designated to show you what I have engineered for your future. They are never loud. They do not come with fanfares or under bright spotlights. They happen in the quiet. After a long stretch of serving me without seeing any reward, this specific moment is one of those moments. I have guided your steps, humbled your heart, and walked with you through unfairness, silence, and heavy tears, just to grow your faith deep into the soil. Now I am unlocking a specific door designed only for you, connected to your pain and your deepest prayers. It is a doorway no other person can step through, custom made for you. I call this crucial phase a holy, set-apart season. This is not some random detour. It is the exact place where my promise meets your faith. If you back down now because you fear public judgment, or because you are exhausted and chasing distractions, you shut your heart and hide in a safe, comfortable corner, then you are basically throwing away every single year you cried out to me and all those times you trusted me in the pitch black. Every precious thing you sacrificed for my sake gets tossed into the trash as if it never mattered. I do not say this to you as some distant stranger giving empty advice. I am the one who has walked right beside you, who felt the pain of every night you wanted to quit, but still held on. Because of that, I have every right to tell you, do not waste this critical hour of your soul on cheap, fleeting opinions. This is no time to look left and right to see who approves of you, who is quiet, who is talking trash, or who is cheering. It is certainly not the time to overthink everything until you are exhausted, wondering why this happened, why nothing has changed, or why they treat you like that. The more you obsess over finding a reason, the deeper you will sink into a black hole of worry with no exit. Right now, you desperately need to anchor your head, soul. Focus your gaze entirely on what I have already put right in front of you, on my written promises and the quiet signs I keep sending you through people, dreams, and doors opening up. But if you press your ear up against the loud, chaotic noise of this toxic world, the headlines, cruel opinions, and constant comparisons, then my voice in the center of your heart gets completely drowned out. Not because I went quiet, but because you turned the dial to another station. If you let dark thoughts, depression, and self-pity wrap around you like a heavy, cold blanket, you will easily reach a breaking point where you abandon my promise right as it is about to show up. You are like a farmer who worked the soil all season, sweating and crying, but gets exhausted, walks away right before the crop is ready, letting some stranger step in and harvest his hard work for nothing. But if you hold the line with me, not stressed out or desperate, but resting deeply in the truth that I am working behind the scenes, even when your feelings are a total roller coaster, you will see that every single day of waiting, every time you shut your mouth instead of spitting venom, every time you choose to obey instead of reacting, is building the very breakthrough you are begging for. As Scripture says, those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Not a single second of this struggle was wasted. Life is right here. The seed sown during years of fire is ripe. You can already smell the fragrance of answered prayers hanging in the air. That is exactly why the devil is in a panic, hitting your mind with heavy anxiety and total confusion, blowing up minor issues and amplifying critics to drag you from the field we cultivated. Stand strong and subscribe so we can build this community of faith together. A dark whisper tells you that my upcoming move is just a projection, merely your own emotional imagination trying to find comfort. It claims nothing is actually changing and that giving up hope is safer than facing disappointment. But listening to that lie suffocates what I am secretly gestating. In the unseen realm, I see those deep stirrings in your heart, those sudden, unexplainable moments when faith rises up, even when all human reason tells you to stop hoping. Those scriptures, like my promise in Isaiah 41:10, to never leave you, that light up when you need them most. They are not fake props built by fleeting emotions. They are signals I sent ahead of time, prophetic signposts, proving the door I prepared for you is finally starting to turn. This is not some passing high after an inspiring sermon. This is reality shifting in the spirit. My plan has finally reached a massive turning point. My work behind the scenes is about to break into your physical sight. The clock of my appointed season never stops ticking, whether you feel it or not. My timeline keeps moving straight ahead, every single second. Through your belief and your deepest doubt brings you closer to the moment where I will move on your behalf. Not because you earned it, but because I am fiercely loyal to my promise. And because of that, I plead with you as a loving father, begging his child to stay awake. Do not let your mind be hijacked by cheap static. Do not let your heart be bullied by the fear of other people. Stay alert, strip away the distractions, and let your entire focus anchor back on me. Because the exact second I step in to defend you and carry you through that open door, I will not wait around while you remain obsessed with the pointless gossip of this world. My child, after everything I have warned you about the opinions of others and the toxic chatter that steals your focus, I need you to pause and really listen. This quiet second is not a random accident. I handpicked this moment for you. This is no minor footnote. It is a critical spiritual crossroads. You must choose to either keep coasting, torn between faith and fear, trying to please both me and the crowd, or make the radical choice to lean wholly on me, regardless of the chaos in front of you. I am offering you something far more valuable than gold, not because your current situation is perfect, but because right now I am standing at the door of your heart, knocking gently once more. Do not assume you will get endless chances like this in your lifetime. I designed specific moments to serve as massive turning points. If you are paying attention, you know this is one of them. Do not let your mind wander to the lie of dealing with this later that is the enemy's most toxic trap. It rarely tells you to reject me outright. It just whispers that there is absolutely no rush. Tomorrow is soon enough. Once life calms down, then you can truly get serious about your faith. Those harmless thoughts are exactly how so many people lose their way, missing the beautiful path I mapped out for them. Think back, how often have you promised yourself to change, to finally go all in, to come back to me completely? Yet, because you hesitated just a fraction, the fire slowly died. You even forgot the sacred bond we once shared. I do not tell you this to guilt you, but so that you might expose the quiet, dangerous strategy trying to lull you back to sleep. Tomorrow is never guaranteed to look the way you plan. Other people once promised themselves they would trust, obey, and return to me on some perfect afternoon. They never realized that perfect day would never show up in their lifetime. I am not speaking to you today just to give you temporary goosebumps that fade by tomorrow. I am giving you a direct, personal summons. This is not for some nameless crowd or a holier person. It is for you, the one sitting here analyzing and overthinking so many things. Understand that this exact moment is pure grace, a raw gift I am placing in your palm. You can grab hold of it right now or watch it slip through your fingers while you stay distracted. I will never force you, but if you keep retreating, choosing silence in the face of my voice, you will miss a beautiful, profound season I am preparing for you. Stop wandering down dark, crooked paths I never laid out. I put a deep promise, a clear calling, and a vision inside you. You know exactly which road you are supposed to take. You are just afraid to step. If you choose to run, hiding behind a mountain of busy work just to avoid my voice, you will only end up completely exhausted and utterly empty. I do not want you drifting through life on cheap, lukewarm compromises. I am telling you to freeze. Look up at me and remember my original words to you in the beginning. My covenant is not some negotiation. Do not tell me you will obey only when life is easy, or that you will wait for a better deal later on. My word is the solid bedrock you need to step forward, even when the road ahead looks completely blind and confusing. When I command you to hold on to my word, it is because I know the storms are coming. There will be violent waves and whispers designed to shatter your faith. You cannot expect a smooth road. But Hebrews 13:8 promises, I never change, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Keep your heart turned on me, keeping your inner eyes glued to the one who made the promise. No hurricane can ever tear you away. You will still face the brutal waves, hear the mockers, and feel the agonizing delays that cut deep. But in the middle of that fire, you will know my hand is holding yours. I said I am faithful, and that means I am fiercely true to my word. I never break a promise. I will never abandon what I started in you. I am not asking for flawless execution, just a stubborn refusal to let go of my hand even when you are exhausted. Do not stress when people do not buy into what I am building inside you. They might mock you. They might not understand your path. They might make fun of the massive spiritual shift you are undergoing. But my child, those critics will not be walking with you to the end of the road. And the only one going down to the deepest, rawest parts of your soul. When I tell you to stand firm, that is not some cheap, comforting slogan, only to comfort you. It is a way of life. Stay anchored, see my glory, and like and subscribe to build our faith community together. I started a fire in you. It is sparking, ready to burn. Right now it is buried unseen by anyone. But in that dark, quiet dirt, I am right here, shaping a new tomorrow for you. I feel your chest tighten when everything slows to a crawl. You keep asking yourself if this is my appointed hour. Why is every door still shut? If God opened this path, why is my mind spinning? You forget that in every promise there is always a long preparation. A seed does not break through the soil the day you plant it. A newborn cannot run. Everything I design on my timeline requires a quiet, slow start to drive roots deep into the earth. That way, when you rise, no storm can tear you down. What you scream at as delay, I call mercy. If I pushed you to the top right now, you would collapse under the crushing weight of the very blessing you are begging for. I need you to grow strong in the shadows, not flash like lightning and burn out. So instead of staring at the clock and counting down, change your question in the quiet. Stop asking when, and start asking, who is God shaping me to be? When you reframe your struggle like that, every ordinary morning matters. The small choices, the exhausting hours, you stay faithful. The heavy moments, you hold your tongue instead of fighting back. The quiet seconds, you sit with me, rather than escaping into your phone. All of this is carving away your rough edges, preparing you to hold the weight of what is coming. This is how you guard your soul from fracturing, keeping yourself anchored to the real center, to me. Do not just lock these words in a box. I am calling you to be my voice, to carry this fire. When my hand touches your shoulder, it is not just to soothe your own pain, but to make you a lifeline for others. When you find the courage to speak my truth, even a single, raw, honest thought, you are signing a deep spiritual covenant with every brave action you take. You are telling me I will not hide my devotion. I will stand on your word in the light. That is faith with skin on it. No longer just a warm feeling, but a grit measured by your dirty boots, your bold words, and your refusal to hide whose side you are on. You might think subscribing to this channel, sharing this video, or leaving an encouraging comment is small. But in the spiritual fight, those little acts are like planting a flag in this online community, claiming this digital ground for God. You are not just supporting a channel, you are bearing witness to your own heart. Every time you dare to speak your faith, the fear of what other people think loses its tight, choking grip. And every time you stay quiet just to fit in, that invisible rope wraps one turn tighter around your raw heart. Step into freedom through these small, heavy actions. When you share my truth with quiet respect, not to pick fights or win applause, you tell heaven you value my whisper more than online validation or the roar of the crowd. Stop letting your mouth echo the toxic noise of the world and make your voice a channel for my living truth. That is real worship, a quiet, heavy declaration that you refuse to miss what I am doing. You are carving a deep promise into the cold night air. I am finally awake, and I will stand watch with you through the storm. I know this fight will tear at you inside. There will be mornings you feel completely exposed, awkward, and misunderstood. I see your trembling hands and I do not turn away. Instead, I reach out, take your hand, and say, just one step. I am walking right beside you. I do not expect you to suddenly fear absolutely nothing. I just need you to be a little less terrified today than you were yesterday. Stop searching for their approval and just hold on to me. Every shaky step is precious because I know the war you fought just to move your feet. My child, when I say the hour has come, it is not to trigger panic. It is to pull you out of the haze. I am not asking you to fill your life with loud, empty noise. I am inviting you to wake up your mind and raw soul. Living awake means refusing to sleepwalk through habits. Stop copying the crowd. Dare to drop to your knees and ask God, what do you want? Where do I step today? When you live with that edge, every mundane morning becomes sacred. You are no longer just floating down a lazy river. You are marching with the deep truth that I am guiding your dirty boots. So listen to my whisper. Do not let this moment slip away. Let this be the concrete line of the sand. Decide today that you will care more about my voice than their hollow opinions. Cling to my promise more than your shaky emotions. Say yes the instant you hear my voice, instead of waiting for a perfect day that is never going to come. From that hard choice, I will open doors you cannot even dream of. Years from now, you will look back and know it started in this ordinary hour, when you finally answered my quiet, heavy call. The whisper that dragged you out of the noise and into a raw season of watching with your Father. So after the backstabbing rumors, the slammed doors, and the cold sweat under the judging glares of other people, what I am calling you to now is not to put on a perfect show. I am telling you to fiercely protect the sacred things growing deep inside your soul. Guard your inner world. Like Proverbs says, protect your heart above all else, because every decision is born there. My truth must take deep root or get choked. If you let bitter envy, old shame, and an obsession with their opinions rot that sacred space, then no. No matter how often I speak, my words will just bounce off. I need your heart tender, not weak. Responsive to my spirit, yet tough when they throw stones. Your soul is a patch of land. If you leave the gate open, the choking weeds of comparison, inferiority, and doubt will quickly take over, shrouding the green shoots I just planted. I do not want your chest to be a bloody battlefield for human opinions. I want your heart to be a sanctuary where I can rest, where you can feel my chest move and learn to breathe in rhythm with me. First, pay attention to what enters your ears. The noise you drink in daily quietly warps how you look at yourself and how you see me. If you keep constantly swallowing criticism, sharp sarcasm, and opinions that tell you you are not enough, eventually you will start believing those lies. Scripture says faith comes by hearing, but terror, shame, and heavy chains slip in through that exact same door. You must learn to recognize my voice, to separate my whisper from the loud, broken opinions of people who are still trapped in their own chains. When a message hits your heart, ask yourself, does this pull me closer to God or drive me into the dark? Does it soften your heart or turn it to stone? Does it speak of grace or does it breed terror? If a voice only crushes your spirit and makes you want to hide instead of running into my arms, then it is not your Father speaking. I am training you to block out the noise that suffocates your fire and tune in to words that build you up in real love, even when they sting a little. Next, I need you to guard your focus. You are living in a world constantly fighting for your attention. Blue light screens, endless feeds, angry comments, flashing notifications, and constant comparison. It is like a cold drizzle soaking your brain, making it impossible to sit still or find any peace. You cannot quiet the noise long enough to hear me. If you let yourself stay distracted, you will miss the exact moment I move in your life. The enemy does not have to lure you into dark sins. He only has to keep you busy with trivial things until my perfect timing passes you by. And when my moment arrives, your eyes are glued to something else. Those raw, quiet minutes you spend with me, no screens, no noise, no performance, are the moments when all of heaven goes dead silent just to hear your voice. In those quiet spaces, I clear your eyes and remind you of my promises. I piece together the shattered parts of your heart so you can see the masterpiece I am building. Keep drifting and you will live in constant fog, always on the edge of clarity, but never truly knowing my voice. Understand this. The breakthrough I promised you is not some poetic metaphor. It is tangible, it is closing in, and it has been built by my word and by every single tear you cried in secret while remaining faithful. Every single time you forgave someone when rage was justified. Every hard choice you made to do right when taking the easy, crooked road was right there. Every time you shut your mouth and let me fight your battles instead of screaming back, that was a seed. You think your pain is wasted and lost, but in heaven, nothing is thrown away. I have counted every silent battle, every painful step you took with zero applause. Every dark night you wanted to quit, but still whispered, "Lord, I trust you." That is why I can tell you today, your breakthrough is no longer a distant dream. It is happening right now under the surface. When the fruit appears, you will realize it did not just happen from a sudden spark, but from years of dragging yourself forward with me. So hear me. Do not let go now, just because your bones are tired. Do not shrink back because of what they whisper about you. Do not trade your destiny for cheap, shining distractions that mean absolutely nothing. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. You feel like you are stranded in the middle of nowhere, but the truth is, you are standing on the edge. You feel like you are just barely starting, but I can already see the fields of your life blooming wide open. You did not get here by accident. If you trace your steps back, you will see how every tiny, seemingly meaningless choice was a line I was drawing to bring you right here. Friendships that broke and paths that parted. iron doors that swung wide open only to slam shut. Long, dry desert roads you swore were wrong turns, but actually led you straight to my heart. None of it was a mistake. They are brushstrokes in a massive painting that only my eyes can see. You might think you just happened to stumble on this video, happened to pause your feed, happened to listen. But let me tell you, accidents do not exist in my kingdom. You see this as a random boring moment, just clicking a video or reading a screen. But in the halls of heaven, this encounter was scheduled ages ago. I knew the exact calendar day you would collapse, the hour your faith would shake, the minute you would finally say, "I quit." And right at that breaking point, I set up this very moment to touch your deepest wound. I do not always speak in thunder and fire. Most of the time, I use a whisper, a heavy silence in the middle of your chaotic day, when you are too exhausted to pretend you have it all together, and finally broken enough to listen. This is that moment. Do not write this off as some cheap motivational speech or a clever emotional script. This is not just a poetic thought. This is my absolute proof that I see you, that I have personally watched every single agonizing step you took to get here. You had to walk this path, to stand right here. When I tell you to fear no man and not to miss the door I have unlocked, know that these are not generic words. This is my heavy hand resting on your tired shoulder, calling you out by name. I am pulling you out of the thick fog of human opinions and into the blinding light of a Father who knows your face. My voice is different from the crowd. I do not judge you by your current failures, but by the purpose I carved into your bones before you were ever born. I am your God. I do nothing by accident. Every syllable I breathe carries the weight of eternity. If I let this video hit your heart today, it is because I have buried the exact answer to your silent panic inside it. I do not play games with your tears, and I never tease your hope. When I tell you to protect your mind, your ears, and your focus, it is because I see the storm waiting for you around the corner. If I say victory is close, it is because I see the future you cannot. You only see a messy present, tangled in painful memories. I see the start, the middle, and the end. I know exactly where your knees get weak, where you want to turn around, and where you are tempted to quit because of what they whisper. Subscribe to join our faith community today. This is bigger than just a passing voice. Do not take this moment lightly. Do not just scroll past like this is some cheap online clip and move on. Let these words sink into the locked spaces you keep closed. Let them challenge you. Who is directing your steps? The eyes of the crowd or the eyes of your Father who defines you, your past, their mockery, or the call of your Creator? Be honest with me right now about your fear of public opinion. Tell me about the times you stayed silent because you feared criticism, about the big dreams you buried deep because you dreaded their laughter. I do not look down on those weaknesses. I just refuse to let them chain you anymore. The moment you dare to lay them bare before me, I will start untying every single knot, one by one. From this moment on, I want you to stop fearing what other people think and start fearing missing what I am doing. Do not tremble at their criticism. Tremble because you see that if you keep backing down, hiding, and letting public opinion rule your life, you will end up sidelined. Meanwhile, I am opening doors for those who actually dare to trust me. I am not excluding you, but I will never force you. I am inviting you into a completely different space, a life where you live for me instead of your image in the work, eyes of others. There you will taste a deep, sweet freedom, Not to do whatever you want, but the freedom of no longer being gripped by those judgmental. My child, treat my word to you today as a real turning point. You can choose to keep living exactly as before, constantly looking over your shoulder, calculating people's reactions before every single step. Or you can start asking a different question. Does this bring me closer to him? Does this restore his image in my heart? If the answer is yes, if it leads toward me, then step forward boldly, even if people do not understand yet, even if some disagree. But if the answer only serves to make you look better to others while drowning out my voice, then you know you have to drop it. I will never abandon a child who dares to choose me over choosing comfort. And as you walk on from this moment, even if it is just a tiny shift in how you think, how you react, or how you face public opinion, remember, you are not walking alone. The one who is speaking to you now is the very same one who will go with you in every quiet choice. I will bring these words back to your mind the second you are about to slip back into your old ways. I will stir a holy discomfort deep inside you whenever you let public opinion rule your life. Not to crush you with guilt, but to remind you that you are called to something deeper, stronger, and more beautiful. And then, little by little, you will see that as your heart is. Guarded your ears, learn to filter out the noise, and your focus locks onto the right place. The harvest I promised will start taking shape, not loudly, not with a show, but clearly and surely. You will realize that no detail in your journey was wasted, and I have never shown up just to fill an empty space in your life. Every time I touch you, I redirect your path. Every word I speak marks a new milestone on the road you are walking. And this very message is one of those key milestones. The place where you lift your head above the noise of the crowd and start locking your gaze steadily onto my eyes. The eyes of the one who never does anything without embedding an eternal purpose for your soul. My child, when you dare to choose my voice over the noise of this world, something quiet yet profoundly deep will take place in your heart. Those spiritual doors you once thought were locked tight will start opening one by one. It is not because you have suddenly become more worthy, but because you are finally standing in the right place to see my hand at work. I prepared opportunities for you long ago, but only when you stop bowing your head to public opinion and turn your face back to me, will you see they were always there, waiting for you to step inside. You will begin to sense that it is no accident when someone shows up to support you. No coincidence when an invitation arrives or when new crossroads open on your path. All of these are my quiet fingerprints, for I have said I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. 1. Will counsel you with my eye on you. Psalm 32, verse 8. With my eye on you. No door I open can be closed by slander or dead criticism from people can ever close again. But my child, when you step into a season of open doors, you must guard your heart more carefully than ever, for the enemy will not let you go easily just because you chose me. He will look for other ways to pull you out of focus, sometimes by using things that seem reasonable enough. He will whisper to you to pause and relax, to compromise a little, to make life easier, to slow down giving up, so you clash less with public opinion. Monotonous days repeat themselves. Work sweeps you into its grind. Empty conversations that lead nowhere. Endless hours scrolling on a screen. This feels like a thin mist, but if you let it settle over your heart for too long, The fire I kindled in you will slowly dim. You will not notice it at once. It does not go out with one fierce gust of wind, but with 1,000 soft breezes of distraction. I say this not to blame you, but to wake you up so you guard your most precious treasure, your burning devotion for heart for me. Remember, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4, verse 23. If you protect your heart, you will protect your entire path. My child, this is not a season for you to walk without direction. This is a season where I want to lead you step by step in my light. You were not made to grope your way through the dark, guessing, living in constant fear of making a mistake. I have placed my Holy Spirit inside you, not as some abstract concept, but as your real guide. When you feel confused by hard choices, unsure of which way to turn or whether to stop, it is in those exact moments that if you are willing to be still long enough and turn back to ask me, you will realize I am gently nudging your heart toward the right path. I do not lead you with thunder, but with a quiet whisper, a prompting that makes you restless with what is wrong and gives you deep, unshakable peace about what is right. I have prepared. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Psalm 119, verse 105. Do not hold it like a souvenir, but let it actually light up the muddy ground beneath your boots. Walking with me means no more guessing in the dark, but moving with a quiet, raw certainty that I am right beside you. I know those heavy seasons when you are just running on autopilot, barely surviving. Every morning feels exactly the same. Your dreams are frozen in place. My promises feel stalled out. I see those long nights when you stare at the ceiling and whisper, Lord, is this all there is? Am I actually on the right road or just lying to myself? In those moments, the urge to quit screams the loudest. Exhaustion sits on your chest like a heavy stone, pinning you down until you want to stop fighting. But listen close, right at the edge of walking away and pulling yourself up one more time. All of heaven is leaning in closer. This is not a dead end. It is a pivot into a brand new chapter of your lost story. What feels like a brick wall right now is actually a hidden doorway. I let you hit your absolute limit, not to break you, but so you can finally see exactly where your own power runs dry and where my raw grace takes over. Do not write the ending while my pen is still poised above the page. I have things lined up for your life that you cannot even picture yet. Just like a kid standing before a vast ocean who has only ever seen a muddy puddle, I am building breakthroughs, connections, and open doors that would completely blow your mind if I spilled the details right now. Stop trying to dissect every single move and just learn to lean into me. You do not need to analyze my every step. Just take the next move in faith, even when you have absolutely no idea how the bigger picture fits together. I know you are frustrated by my silence, wondering why this mountain road is so incredibly steep and winding. But you can trust that I never waste a single detail. My thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, says Isaiah 55, verse 8. This is not an invitation to turn off your mind, but to recognize where your logic fails and where my will begins. Do not let your soul run completely dry, chasing answers I have not released yet. Do not let one rough patch make you doubt my entire heart for you. When you keep spinning in circles, asking why, you will only exhaust your spirit. But when you ask, Lord, what are you teaching me here? You will finally grow. I'm not going to explain every mystery on this side of eternity, but I promise that nothing you surrender to me is ever wasted. The things that make zero sense today, I am fitting together behind the scenes. One day, looking back, you will whisper through tears, "You did not waste a single broken piece of my life." In that moment, you will thank me, not just for the answered prayers, but because the silent struggles you thought went unnoticed became the solid foundation for things you never dared to ask for. Hold on to this truth. I have not just made promises. I am already in the middle of fulfilling them. If you could see behind the curtain right now, you would witness quiet shifts happening all around you. People I am bringing into your path, old doors shutting so new roads can clear, and dead dreams breathing again in your chest. This is not cheap positive thinking. It is the raw evidence of my movement. The one who began a good work in you will finish it, as Philippians chapter 1 verse 6 promises. I do not start a project just to walk away. You might collapse from exhaustion, but I keep moving. I see the entire horizon. I am not demanding perfection from you, just daily grit and faithfulness. Trusting me on those cold, ordinary mornings, in empty hours of grinding work, and in secret rooms when no one is watching, but you still choose integrity. Stop striving to prove you are worthy of my promise, and just rest in my presence to catch your breath. When the weakness hits, talk to me. Do not isolate when you are terrified. Call my name. Do not retreat when your mind starts spiraling. Break the silence with raw praise instead of suffocating in your anxiety. Stop trying to force my promises to happen. Let me handle the heavy lifting. Just focus on the simple tasks right in front of you and watch my power shatter the doors you never thought would move. Others won't get your choices. They might laugh when you step out in faith, but when I stand up for you, they will have to watch the radical change unfold in your life. Keep stepping forward, completely deaf to the noise of the crowd, focusing only on my gaze. You will discover that where you stand with others means nothing compared to whether you are standing in the right spot in my eyes. Then every door I open will no longer make you anxious about what people think, but will be a stage for you to express your authentic heart to me, handling it with humility. You won't constantly sweat the fear of rejection or locked doors, because you know that human hands do not write your destiny. My grip is what holds your story, continuing the work I will absolutely carry to the end of your life. Stop treating this chapter like it is random noise. Nothing you are facing right now is pointless. I have stirred the heavens and set the invisible spaces in motion. I have sent messengers ahead to clear obstacles in places you cannot reach, and to tweak details your logic could never manage. It all serves one real purpose, that my perfect timing for your life will play out, and what I promised in the dark will be shouted from the rooftops. While you are still staring in shock at your current mess, I am already shifting the ground beneath your feet out of sight. I have moved in the hearts of total strangers and changed the backdrop, opening up pathways where everything looked dead and locked. I do not need you to have massive strength or superior wisdom, but just a heart that is still, willing to listen, a mind that will still drop its guard and soften, a soul that refuses to let failure and fatigue suffocate the raw faith that you held at first. Stay close to me. If this message healed your soul, like and subscribe to join our growing family of faith. I have lined up every single detail of your life, but you can still walk right past it because your soul has gone numb. So I am begging you, do not shut the door of your heart. Do not let old bleeding wounds force you into a cold silence with me. Do not let cheap gossip or bitter rejection or those quiet, unanswered prayers build high brick walls around your soul. Keep your heart wide open. It is the only way you will hear my voice cutting through the noise of this world. Only then will you spot my hand moving behind all the chaotic, messy storms of these past few weeks. Remember, the hour I set for you is still coming. The quiet countdown I started in your life has never skipped a single beat, not once. Every heavy morning you wake up, every sleepless night you toss and turn, every tired sigh you breathe, I am counting every single second of it. Every fraction of a second drags you closer to the moment my promise comes alive. When you finally stare at what was once just a fragile, desperate hope, you will be absolutely stunned to realize that not a single painful night on your knees was ever wasted. Every tear, every raw scream in the dark went straight to me. It has all been gathered, pressed down, and piled up like wild waters behind a dam, just waiting for me to say, "It is time." Then it will break open, flooding your life with raw grace. You will look back and finally see why I let you face those delays, dead ends, and cold, lonely valleys. This grueling road was training your soul, carving it deep enough to carry what is coming next. A massive promise dropped onto a shallow heart will only break you. But a massive promise built on a heart forged in fire becomes a lifeline for others. Trust me, I did not drag you down this dusty, brutal road just to watch you collapse inches from the finish line. I did not lead you through years of agonizing tests, rumors, and broken relationships, or let doors slam in your face just to leave you staring at a brick wall. That is not who I am. Philippians 1:6 tells us, "I finish what I start." I am not some cheap builder who leaves a frame rotting on a cold foundation. If you are still breathing, still aching, still fighting to believe, when you hear my voice, that is proof your story is not over. The next page is currently being written, and you are not some throwaway character getting cut from the script. So please do not give up, and do not let exhaustion win. Do not let a numb, cold heart slowly eat away at the fire inside you. I know you have wanted to lock all the doors and stop believing, stop praying, and stop hoping just to protect yourself from getting hurt again. But if you let your soul freeze over you, will end up burning the very bridge to the harvest you watered with your own tears. I have watched so many people get right to the edge of a massive breakthrough, only to let a few harsh words, cold stares, or silent prayers force them into a cheap compromise. They choose a quick, easy, but completely wrong escape route. Because of that, my blessings remain locked away, just out of reach. I refuse to let that happen to you. I cannot bear to see my beloved child, who marched with me through dry deserts, turn around just as the storm clouds are finally gathering rain. So I remind you to hold on to my hand even tighter now. Tune your ears to my voice, blocking out all the screaming noise of the world. Keep your heart soft, ready to shake when I speak to you. Do not let cold indifference choke out your first love. Do not let your burning passion turn into cold gray ashes just because the waiting has dragged on. If you cannot run anymore, then crawl, but do not leave the battlefield. If you have no strength to speak, just sigh. Cry out in groans, but do not walk away. If your tears are flooding your cheeks, let them be your raw prayer. I do not need pretty, polished prayers. I want your raw honesty. Where there is truth, I can work miracles. Just remember, a cold soul does not happen overnight. It creeps in quiet, inch by inch, through tiny compromises and moments where you slide away from me to please people instead of trusting my word. Guard your heart above all else, because every choice you make flows directly from it. If you can keep your faith burning in this freezing, heartless world, I will use your life to spark a fire in everyone around you. If you dare to, stand tall while everyone else falls away. You will be proof that I can completely rebuild a life that refuses to let go of me. And it is exactly when you refuse to let depression and doubt steal your destiny that those massive doors we talked about will finally begin to swing. Fly open. Not because you kicked them down, but because my hand opens them for the child who stayed loyal to the end. Right now, as you sit here, letting these words sink into your tired chest. Do not mistake this for just another random video scrolling by on a screen. This is a sacred, heavy moment in your faith journey. The invisible spiritual world is pressing right up against your daily reality, where I step directly into your quiet room to ask you one burning question. Do you still want to walk this road with me? I do not need massive heroic acts from you. I am not asking for flashy, loud gestures. I just want to know if there is still a quiet yes buried in your soul. To make sure that yes is more than just a passing thought, look at the screen in your hand. Let us make this physical a tangible sign of a quiet spiritual shift. Hit that subscribe button right now as a simple physical declaration that you are choosing to stand with this community of faith. Stay locked in, telling me, I am still standing right here. I am still listening. I choose to remain in your presence. To anyone else, it is just a screen tap. To me, it is a seal on your soul, like the raw stone altars my people built to mark those moments where I broke through a physical reminder saying, God met me here. You might think a single tap on your screen does not matter, but hear me. Nothing is too small when it is done in raw faith and love for me. Every single quiet step, every tiny act of devotion, and it starts with a quiet choice. I pull you into a current that flows toward my plan. When you openly stand your ground and decide to stay, listening to my voice instead of just scrolling past like the rest, you are crushing the fear of what people think. You are no longer just keeping me a secret, but letting your choice leave a real footprint out there. It is like raising hands in the middle of a crowded room, like standing up in a crowded room to claim what is yours. That tiny step is never trivial to me. It proves you are not merely seeking a quick emotional fix or a passing feeling. You want your chest to tighten and actually drive you to move. In a world where everyone quickly swipes away whatever makes them uncomfortable, your decision to linger right here becomes a heavy, silent statement. 1. Need you to know that I notice these quiet, unseen decisions. I see you about to scroll by, only to pause because something deep inside whispers, keep listening. What if this is your Creator speaking? I see you when you are ready to walk away, yet you turn around every single time. You read my words again, just to remind yourself that I am still here. When you hit subscribe, leave an honest comment or save this to hear it once more. Do not write it off as some digital habit. I see those clicks as raw stones you are laying on the path to find your way back to me. I do not need flashy, dramatic scenes. I just love the quiet heart that whispers, "I want to stay close." I refuse to let his voice drown in all this noise. To me, that raw desire is precious enough to record. Because, as the scripture says, nothing in existence is hidden from his eyes. Everything is stripped bare and wide open to the gaze of the one we must answer to. And as the one who sees what human eyes miss, I know the real motive behind every hidden move you make. My child, when you show your heart in these small ways, you are putting your signature on a quiet pact between us. It is not about being flawless. It is not a promise that you will never fall flat again, but a vow that says, even when I am weak, I want to stay in your grace. That screen you touch is no magic spell that instantly fixes your life, but a physical marker to remind yourself that on a normal day, you chose not to walk away from my voice. When your world is shaking and you start fearing what others think of you, again, you will desperately need these signposts. You will remember, my heart once chose the Creator, and I had the courage to show it, so I will choose him again today. I do not judge your worth by external motions, but I use them to gently pull you up. I remember that you are made of dust, needing physical sights to recall what your spirit once saw clearly. Listen to me. A simple tap on glass is more than just a digital motion. It is the visual map of a deep inner choice to move closer. Your hand is pulled in 1,000 directions by a noisy world, urging you to consume things that only leave your soul feeling empty and dry. But right now, I want you to use that exact same motion to turn back home. You are not wasting your energy on something empty. You are leaning into what softens your calloused heart and wakes up your faith. When you move with a conscious realization, I want to step into what my Father is doing. I want to drink from the well that actually feeds my soul. That very gesture turns into a silent prayer among all the chaos fighting to steal your focus. I love seeing you hand a piece of that focus to me. That is where I plant new seeds deep into your soil. Hear me as a loving Father. Do not look down on small beginnings. The massive iron gates I open are often unlocked by keys that look completely insignificant. You will eventually see that your life's greatest shifts never started with an explosion, but during a quiet night when you sat listening on the floor and slowly nodded along with my voice. Today is that moment where you stop just hearing and start making a deep promise in your chest. Tell me you want to keep walking. You just took another hard step away from worrying about people and closer to me, standing up to fight for you. No one else might care, but I called you by your actual name, and I am watching every single detail. As the scripture promises, your Father who sees what happens in the dark will reward you. I do not just give you things, but deep internal strength, peace, and a rock-solid path for what lies ahead. So, my child, if your chest feels tight with that gentle pull right now, do not choke it out. Do not brush it off for later. Do not let awkwardness or the numb routine of endless scrolling rob you of this second. Talk back to me in whatever way feels real. Hit a button, write a raw comment, or save this to listen to when things get heavy. Just keep it honest. I read the weight behind it. I see you choosing to linger for 5 more minutes, even when your thoughts are racing somewhere else. I deeply value you telling me I am not walking away halfway this time. I am going the distance. That alone gives me every reason to rain down what I have been holding for you. Nothing done out of real love is lost, not even the quiet things nobody ever applauds. When you dig your heels in to listen and trust, you unleash a fresh current of life that bridges my ancient promises with the reality about to break open in your path. From this quiet, dusty room, I will guide you further than you ever dreamed. When you look back later, you will see that your entire recovery started with a single ordinary choice you almost ignored. The decision to sit under my voice and refuse to let the paralyzing fear of what they think overpower your desperate hunger to be near me. I am your Lord. I see all the way to your raw depths, and I will never forget one move you made to draw closer. My child, you have survived so many cold stares, whispered rumors, and heavy judgments from people around you, always wondering if you measure up. But I need you to look past all that static and hear the real truth. No moment of your life is too trivial to matter to me. The long nights you sat alone on the cold floor, thinking everyone had completely forgotten you. I was there, your existence. I stood right there, watching, listening to the silent sobs you couldn't speak. On afternoons, you hurried through packed streets with a fake smile plastered on, trying to look okay, while feeling completely hollow inside. I walked right beside you through those brutal nights when you tossed and turned, begging for quiet, your mind racing with dark questions you dared not tell a soul. I heard every frantic heartbeat. You aren't lost in some cold, empty void. Your whole story is written in the palm of my hand. Nothing gets missed. I don't lose track of your years. And I never ignore a single tear shed in my name, nor the heavy wounds I permitted to help you grow in real faith. You often think I only value the polished moments when you pray hard, serve passionately, and give everything you have, and that your exhausted, broken, worn-out hours aren't even worth mentioning. But you are wrong. I am, right here, even when you feel completely dry. Even when prayer is just a tired sigh, and all you can gasp is, Lord, I'm at the end of my rope. I don't turn away in disappointment. Right then, I lean closer. I hear the silent cries and see the tears you quickly wipe away. I count every single time you want to quit, but still choose to hold on. Each small moment you think is wasted is actually an invisible line being etched into your story of faith before heaven. Trust me, no moment is wasted. No pain is forgotten. No raw prayer that fades to nothing. Psalm 34:18 says, I am close to the brokenhearted. I am not some distant God too busy to remember your life. I don't make promises only to walk away and leave you to struggle alone. I don't give you cheap words just to soothe you for a second. When I speak, my whole character stands behind it. If my word failed, I wouldn't be God. But that is impossible. I am never confused, slow, or helpless against whatever fights you. If you look around right now and everything is still, it is not because I have abandoned you, but because I am quietly building something that will leave you and those watching in a stunned silence. I am weaving, shifting, and rearranging the pieces you think are disconnected, so that suddenly, at the exact moment of my choice, they will crash together to form a beautiful new reality, one you never dared to dream. So keep your ears open. Do not let dark voices, cruel judgments, or memories of past failure crowd your mind until there is no room left for my voice. I do not only speak in dramatic moments. I whisper through the everyday like a scripture verse suddenly rising in your mind, a song that hits a raw nerve, a friend who somehow speaks directly to your hidden pain. This is how I gently nudge your soul. Be watchful, not in panic, but with an open heart, so you can hear me knocking on the door of a new season. You think everything is going to stay heavy and exhausting forever, but I am shaping a breakthrough. Don't let exhaustion deafen you. Ask me to awaken your heart so you can feel the shifts happening all around you. What I am about to do won't be some minor fix or a simple band-aid, but a massive transformation. When you look back, you will see a sharp line between before and after. I don't upgrade your life like someone updating some cheap software. I rebuild how you see me, how you see yourself, and how you see your entire purpose. People will witness this massive shift and try to chalk it up to luck, coincidence, your hard work, or just lucky breaks, or the influence of others. But you will know deep in your bones that my hand did this. I will move so powerfully that nobody can brag. It is my strength. What I am doing carries the unmistakable seal of raw grace, far beyond your limits and wildest expectations, shattering the limits others placed on you and crushing the walls you built around your own heart. You will remember the doors you pounded on until your hands bled, only for them to stay locked. People you begged to stay who left anyway. Opportunities that slipped away right through your fingers. You sat in the dark, believing you were a failure, cursed and forgotten, while I blessed everyone else. But you only saw the view from the dirt. I saw from above. I knew exactly what you would become if those doors had swung open. Some connections would have dragged you away from me. Status would have fed your ego. Success would have convinced you that you didn't need me. So despite your desperate prayers, I was forced to say no. That painful no was actually your rescue, even if you couldn't see it then. I blocked paths you were desperate to take, not to be harsh, but because I won't let you wander down gorgeous roads that lead straight to dead ends. The enemy is incredibly skilled at laying down glittering paths like fame, applause, and the rush of being admired and recognized by the crowd. But deep down, they rip your soul away from real safety. I won't trade your soul just to keep you from feeling left behind by the world. That is why I would rather let you go through seasons of heavy disappointment, staggering moments, and lost opportunities, than allow you to step through a door that would incinerate everything I've spent years growing inside you. After every single closed door, even though your heart was bleeding, you still had me. Then, slowly, better pieces appeared, healthier connections, a peaceful path, and an environment more aligned with the spirit I placed deep inside you. Only then did you start to realize those past wreckage moments were not wasted. They were just like speed limits on a dangerous highway, reminding you to slow down before you slammed straight into a massive wall you couldn't see. I've been silently guiding you, redirecting your steps, molding you, like a patient artist, shaping the clay into the shape he wants. I'm building the right door for your unique calling. Like and subscribe to join our growing faith community today. I designed a real eternal destination for your soul. I never wanted you settling for cheap spaces that only temporarily make you feel less broken for a short moment. I want to bring you back to the truth I spoke over your life from day one. Stop measuring your worth, how many doors others open for you. Keep your eyes on the doorway I am building for you. Once you step through, you will never have to struggle to prove your worth. My presence on your life is going to speak for itself. So, when I tell you change is coming, Do not shrink my promise down to the size of your past failures and fears. Do not settle for thinking things will only get a tiny bit better. That is not enough. I am not a God of scraps or survival. I did not drag you out of the fire just to leave you in a dry desert that is barely livable. I am bringing you into wide open spaces where you can breathe, heal, and truly bloom. My goal is always to restore my reflection in you, not to put a bandage on your surface scars. When my perfect timing arrives, you will not have to put on a show, because my hand on your life will be the proof. The people who looked down on you will stumble over their own cynical explanations. The ones who dismissed you will be shocked by the deep peace, the solid ground, and the new life in you. But for you, the greatest gift will not be their approval. It will be the quiet realization that I never left you, not even when the whole world stood against you. You will see that the dead ends, broken dreams, and blocked roads of your past were actually signs that I was stepping in early to guard your soul. When that day comes, you won't look ahead with dread, fear of judgment, fear of empty hands, fear of loss, or fear of missing out. You will see through the eyes of a child who knows their father holds the keys. Instead of shaking over every choice, you will simply ask me, Lord, which path leads me closest to you? Then the worry about what people think will fade into a deeper, holy awe. A fear of missing the moment I knock at your door, or wandering off the track I paved for you with my own tears answered prayers, and the quiet moments I pulled you back from the edge. My child, I am taking you to a place where every piece of your story, even the ripped out pages, is collected and written into a deeper, truer, and more beautiful chapter. Do not rush to write off your life as a total loss. The dust and dry ground of today will bloom tomorrow if you let me keep working. Let me be the one who decides which doors open and close. Your job is to keep your heart open, your ears sharp, and your feet moving. My job is to finish what I started. When you look back, you will drop to your knees and say, if the Lord had not been there, I would have never made it. Right now, quiet the noise around you. Shut out the distractions and lift up the rawest, most honest prayer from the bottom of your soul. Father, my God, I come to you today with a weary, heavy heart, but I refuse to quit. I confess that there have been times I stood right on the edge of what you promised, yet wanted to walk away because the wait felt too long and the noise of doubt was screaming in my head. Forgive me for letting exhaustion and discouragement drown out your voice over my life. Lord, breathe on me again, rebuild my faith, and give me the grit to stay on the path you marked out, rather than walking away. Help me to remember the times you rescued me, cleared the road, and held me up in the past, so my heart knows you are still working, even when I cannot see a thing. I leave all my plans, my shortcuts, and my desperate attempts to save myself at the foot of the cross. Hold me steady, God, until the day I watch your promises become a living reality. Merciful Father, you know my heart deeper than I know myself. I lay down every single distraction that is dragging me away from your perfect path for my life. I confess that I have cared more about what people think than about hurting your heart. I let the stares, the whispers, and the judgments of others dictate my steps. Forgive me, Lord, for the times I shrank back from obeying you because I was terrified of being mocked, misunderstood, or rejected. Give me a holy awe of you that swallows up every other fear so that I choose your word even when I have to stand completely alone. Make my ears sharp to the Holy Spirit, and give me the good courage to break out of human control and care nothing for public opinion, so I can live as someone who truly belongs to you, no longer bound by the opinions of others. Almighty God, thank you for not letting me sleepwalk through my life and drift away in spiritual numbness. There were seasons when I wasted time putting off your call and living as if I had all the time in the world. Yet, in your grace, you woke me up. Thank you for the wake-up calls in your word, in hard situations, and through people who reminded me that the spiritual clock is ticking. Thank you for not staying silent and letting me get lost, but shaking my soul so that I would see I was standing at a critical crossroads. Without your mercy, I would have easily been someone who quit halfway through. Today, I thank you for still correcting me and speaking to me. That discipline is the proof that I am still your child. Father, thank you for never ignoring my pain. There have been dark nights when I cried alone with nobody to hear or understand, but you were right there, holding every tear in your hand. Thank you for not letting my suffering be in vain, but turning my pain into seeds planted in the dirt, which will grow into strength, maturity, and a powerful testimony. Thank you that, through these scars, I have learned to feel for others, value grace deeply, and recognize that nothing I have is something I could ever earn. Without those brutal seasons of brokenness, I'd still be shallow and proud. Today, I bow in gratitude because you stayed close through every single painful scar. I truly believe you'll use all this wreckage to build a beautiful story, something far deeper than anything I could ever dream up. I pray this in the powerful name of Jesus Christ. Amen. If this spoke to you, subscribe and hit the bell. Together, we can build a raw, honest community of faith together. It is 3 a.m. The bills are piled on the counter, and the silence in this room is heavy. Heavy heat. But hear me now. I am right here in the dark with you, feeling the exact ache tearing at your chest. Hey, remember what I promised you. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, because I am your God. Your bank account might be empty and your mind spiraling, but your story does not end in this dirt. I'm here. I will meet every single one of your needs. Hold on, because this brutal pressure is shaping something beautiful. If you felt this raw truth today, subscribe and hit like. Let us build a community where we never walk alone. Heavy heat. Hey, listen.